Tiananmen Square massacre to unleashing coronavirus from Wuhan, China turns an irresponsible rogue state. Imprisoned in the clamp of communists for last several decades, the soul of Chinese citizens seemed to have awakened. Millions of awakened citizens had walked towards Beijing, Tiananmen Square, raising the flag of democracy, demanding freedom of speech, expression, and press freedom. These teeming students woke up collective conscience of China. It was for the first time in the history of world that a government crushed peaceful demonstration of its own citizens by running military tanks. Tiananmen Square was stained with blood and flesh of the pro-democracy students, with tanks rummaging everything in their way. Democracy is considered expression of freedom. It is the responsibility of civilized society to listen to the voice of freedom aired by the people anywhere on earth. Countries world over lost their voices after the bloody massacre of peaceful students that demonstrated at Tiananmen Square, considered gateway to heaven. The monumental gate in Beijing city turned into a hellhole. France said it was disappointed by bloody repression of unarmed protesters. Most countries seem to have forgotten this as an internal issue of China. China had told the world that about 300 people died in its action, while the British archives put this figure at over 10,000. Journalist Nan Lane told the world China's repression was so brutal that she was not allowed to take pictures of the massacre, and those who managed to capture some shots struggled to get out of Beijing. These innocent students were demanding democracy from their government. These students were asking for a bright future from the Chinese government. But these demands of the students were treated illegal, leading to massacre unleashed by a repressive communist regime and its People's Liberation Army. And the result was that over 10,000 students were killed at Tiananmen Square. After 30 years, once again the face of this irresponsible China has come before the world. Yes, the Wuhan virus, by whatever name it is called, is lethal, but it's more important to name its birthplace with it. Today, the whole world is upset because China has irresponsibly orchestrated a global epidemic. Today, China stands global scrutiny. In the process, China committed too many crimes. Why did China initially hide coronavirus from the world for 75 days after its outbreak? Why did the communist oligarchs narrate to the whole world wrong set of figures relating to coronavirus infection? Why did the Chinese communist leadership gate crash to destroy samples of coronavirus? Was it not a fact that Director General at World Health Organization worked in tandem with Chinese leadership of Xi Jinping to hide the Chinese virus origin from Wuhan? Why did China silence the warnings of the doctors and journalists who brought the COVID-19 in Wuhan? Why is journalist Chen Kuishi missing after having reported of corona infections since February 2020? Why was media barred from independently reporting on COVID-19? Why was Dr. Li Wenliang killed for revealing COVID-19 and forewarning China? For the brutal Chinese leadership, does freedom of speech mean anything at all? One just wonders. Not only this, violating the fundamental rights of all journalists and sending doctors to jail is a serious question. Not only this, China initially refused to share information with other countries. Communist leadership under Xi Jinping leveraged its power at World Health Organization to try and suppress information on disease spread among human beings. On one hand, China kept spread of Wuhan virus as a state secret from the people. On the other, millions of people continued to travel outside Wuhan without any medical examination to other countries. Now China is worried about its image. It is scared that people globally may punish it for the sin by boycotting Chinese goods and the market. Diabolical character of the communists in China stands exposed. But in countries where it's out of power, the communists make a song and dance demanding democracy. The intolerant left thugs speaks eloquently demanding freedom of speech. There, the proletarian is seen as a soldier. There, it advocates for human rights. The workers give the slogan of unite. But in countries where it enjoys power, all such rights are put in cold storage. Even after 3 decades of bloody Tiananmen Square massacre, there has been hardly any change in China's attitude. Even at the time of Tiananmen Square massacre, China was completely dishonest like it has been during coronavirus. Hence, it is dishonest on part of China to speak about human rights. At the time of Tiananmen Square violence also, the freedom of speech claim was a complete sham. And during the coronavirus pandemic, it has been just a sham. Blood and sweat of innocent students that flowed in Tiananmen Square reminds one that China could put the entire human race in after having spread the deadly virus. World is seeking clear and transparent answers from China that has set a smoke screen behind which it conspired, perpetuated and unleashed crimes against humanity.